Hi, I'm Dave.
And I'm Jennifer, and we are a middle-aged couple with a Regal Unlimited subscription and, I don't know, an interest in movie theater popcorn.
Yeah. And we're not associated with the Real Corporation at all in any way, despite the fact that we go to their movies all the time.
They should be paying us sometimes to see these things.
So we're making a video for every movie we see together in 2025. And tonight, dun, 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 we saw Tron Ares. You've probably heard about this movie by now and what a colossal failure it is and how awful it is and that's the worst movie ever made. That seems to be the public opinion.
Really? Okay. I guess I didn't get the idea that it was the worst movie ever made.
People are dogpiling on it. I'm glad to say that it's not the worst movie ever made.
No.
It's not great, but it's perfectly serviceable.
It's much better than The Mastermind.
And honestly, it's the most coherent Tron movie ever made.
Yeah, that's true.
It's not the prettiest one. I would say that the Tron Legacy was probably the prettiest one.
Yeah. Yeah.
It just isn't. It feels very small and kind of like cheap compared to Tron Legacy.
Yes and no. In moments it does, and in moments it has a few moments that are kind of equivalent, but yeah, not as much. And as much as I love Nine Inch Nails and most of the music was quite amazing, Daft Punk exists.
Yeah.
Tron existed so Daft Punk could exist. Like that's just
The Daft
perfect.
Punk music was much, much better than the Nine Inch Nails
perfect.
music. Yeah.
And this is good music, good feeling, but yeah, it's not grungy.
It's a movie score.
Yeah,
it's a movie score. It's not. You never. Like, if you didn't know it was Nine Inch Nails music, you would just think, oh, somebody made this on a synthesizer. Which they did, of course, but, it was Trent Reznor who did it on the synthesizer. And it's good. It's a good score for an action movie, but it's nothing memorable. I don't remember a single bit of the music other than the terrible song that plays over the credits.
The song that plays over the credits is literally atrocious. Every other song I think is actually a really strong music. And, goes fine with the movie. It's actually not electronic enough. It's artificial, but it's not electronic. And yeah, it's dark, but it's like, I think of Nine Inch Nails as more like industrial, like closer to dark and dirty, rather than dark and, laser-y. And Daft Punk is lasers, and Tron is lasers.
Yeah. I mean, it's interesting because this movie clearly bills itself as the grimdark Tron.
Yes.
But it just isn't. We talked about this on the way home.
Yeah.
The computer programs are told to kill one person in the entire movie, and they don't kill anybody else. They're
except for one person.
I guess they kill the fighter pilots.
No, the fighter pilots eject.
Eject, yeah.
And the fighter pilots are Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross. But
yeah, that's cute.
But no, they kill. We're gonna do spoilers, right?
I guess.
They kill the bitch, right? They killed Dillinger's mom.
Okay. Yes, that's.
And of course, bitches and moms, we can't handle that.
Okay.
Got to kill them.
It's Gillian Anderson. Please don't use that word.
That's the character she is playing.
Show some respect and take that word out of your mouth.
That is the character that she is playing.
She's Gillian Anderson.
Yes, who is wasted in this role. Is the point.
Well, that's the problem, is that everybody's wasted in this movie.
Jodie Turner-Smith is a really good actress, and she didn't need to act in this movie particularly. Nope. Yeah. Although I did appreciate that they had Tron, that they had, people in the suits with breasts, that
they had one.
Well, there were others of the nameless ones who also had breasts of breast shape and not just, I have enough of a little bit of breast to tell you that I'm female, but I actually need to be the same shape as the guys. Like, Jodie Turner-Smith doesn't have the same shape as Jared Leto.
So for the most part, this movie follows the tried and true Tron Smurfette rule, which is there's exactly one female character with a name.
Yeah.
Whose role is girl, and she gets to be a badass in this one, but she's still girl compared to Jared Leto, who is man.
Well, who is man, who is machine, and then is mad.
Well.
So he gets to progress emotionally.
Jared Leto was wasted in this role. As much as I don't like Jared Leto, in Blade Runner 2049, he was playing a slime ball. And that worked.
He was in that?
Yeah, he was the villain.
Oh, he was the villain. Oh, I don't remember him at all.
Movie.
I really don't remember that.
He was the guy who was making the replicants.
Oh, I don't remember Blade Runner 2049 at all. That movie just bounced off of my consciousness. Okay. I saw it. I know movie. Ryan Gosling is in it. It just
God. Harrison Ford was in it?
I know that.
Okay.
I don't remember what he
Dave
did.
Bautista?
No.
At the very beginning?
No, I don't remember that at all.
Okay. Anyway,
I'm telling you, that movie didn't stick.
Here's the thing, though. Maybe it didn't stick, but I guarantee you, if I showed you stills from that movie, you would go, oh yeah, that's Blade Runner 2049.
Yes, absolutely.
This movie, it doesn't even look like a Tron movie for the most part. There are some sections of the movie that takes place in the grid,
mm-hmm.
and those look pretty much exactly like Tron Legacy.
Mm-hmm.
But an issue is something fascinating to me, which is that in the first Tron movie, they invented this new method of special effect that is actually like incredibly analog and not computer generated at all, of like painting their faces and shooting them in black light. And it looked like nothing else that it was ever made in the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
And that is Tron's legacy.
Yep.
To me, Tron has always been a visual film.
Yep.
Right? Same thing with Tron Legacy. Tron Legacy's plot is so complicated and pointless and just doesn't go anywhere. But it looks so good.
Yeah.
It looks so good. This didn't look that good. I mean, yes, Jared Leto has like red glowy lines on his outfit, which he then replaces with white glowy lines when he becomes the angelic savior.
Mm-hmm.
But
and becomes people.
Yeah. But like, really? Like, it just didn't look good.
Yeah. Well, I mean, most of the movie takes place in the real world, right?
Yeah.
So it's like the stylized Tron universe,
mm-hmm.
like, is only a small part of the movie. And then there are bits of that universe that are stylized and cool looking because they're stylized.
Mm-hmm.
But then they're like driving around what I'm kind of assuming is supposed to be LA, like, okay, like LA or whatever city this is looks like a city in the real world, right? And
mm-hmm.
then you have this like cool looking like thing flying through it, or the light cycles or whatever. But it doesn't run the same. And the most visually interesting thing that the movie does in the real world is in the trailer, where the light cycle comes through and the like wave that comes behind it like cuts this cop car in half.
Right.
Which gives you the idea that those things are dangerous, right? And those light trails, whatever they are, like go all throughout this city and for the most part don't do any other damage. It's
mm-hmm.
like there's this kind of setup given to you that these things in the real world can be really dangerous. And they do kind of trash the city, but not
really.
Nearly as much as it seems like they should.
Yeah.
And they very ostentatiously show you them not killing other people for reasons that don't make any sense. And I mean, the whole motivation of the whole thing doesn't make any sense. But I mean, I didn't really expect that to make sense. But
I
you've got this
sense.
like thing in the machine who is, this servant in the machine who doesn't think anything of being the servant in the machine, and all of a sudden is like, no, I would like to be a real boy.
Yeah.
But why? Oh, no, because he likes Depeche Mode.
Yeah, he does. That I agree with him on that.
I agree with liking Depeche Mode. I don't know if that would make me want to turn into a different species.
Yeah, the plot's a little underbaked. I would say that all of the action scenes feel very lightweight and not particularly impactful.
Yeah.
Impactful is not a word, but I'm going to use it here. There's just no sense of like real explosions and guns and things running into things and whatever. There's a scene where like the one other car that's damaged in the movie is that there's a car that runs into one of the light trails and just sort of flips over. And it just feels like it's happening like on a set where they were like, okay, let's make sure we're all safe as we do this very complicated stunt. And then it's just the car goes and falls over.
Right. But I mean, it might also feel that way because no car flipped over and it might just be CGI, right?
Yeah, so it definitely has that feeling, that weightless feeling of CGI throughout. Even stuff I think was probably done practical.
Yeah, yeah.
It just doesn't. The director just didn't know how to make things feel like they were hitting other things. There's a lot of collisions and, people punching things and whatever in this movie, and none of it ever feels like it actually connects or has any heft behind it.
Yeah, it's all oddly, amusingly impermanent, right? And part of the shtick of it is that the things from the Dillinger Systems grid can be made real, but only for 29 minutes, and then they disintegrate, right? So it's partially like all these chases and stuff happen, and it's like, well, all you have to be able to do is hide out from these things for 29 minutes, and then they will literally dissolve in front of you.
Yeah.
And then obviously they just make another one, but why they couldn't make 75 of them constantly and just always have a wave of them that have 29-minute lifespans, they don't ever explain.
I can't say for sure, but I think that they cut something out of this movie.
Really?
So when they were creating Ares and Athena, and Athena
is Jodie Turner-Smith,
the Smurfette, when they're creating them in this laser laser printer room, there's clocks on the wall that say 29 minutes Ares, 29 minutes Athena, listing how long they have before they deconstruct. There's a third clock. And I swear to God, I saw at one point it said 29 minutes. And there was a name next to it. I think it said Leo or something like that.
Oh, I don't remember seeing that. I saw it. The first time I noticed the clock was when Eve Kim was in there, and it said unknown and had no time.
Right.
And it said Aries 29 minutes. Yeah. And then the next time they showed two clocks, it said Aries and Athena.
Athena, yeah. So I can't say for sure, but I think that at some point one of the characters does say, "Oh, you're so cool. You're to Evan Peters, like you're so amazing that you've created these 3 soldiers." And there's only the 2 of them.
Oh, well, but there's the one at the beginning that was defective and then was deleted.
Yeah. I don't think he's in the...
Caius.
Is that... Maybe that's who it is. Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the deal.
He was the first... Originally, there were 3. But in that original fight, there's a zillion of them.
Yeah. Well, there's I think 8 of the red guys and then a zillion of the blue ones.
Yeah.
But maybe it's 6. I'm not sure. We're given names for 2 of them.
Yeah.
Well, 3, because Caius. But then he's immediately killed off.
Yeah. But yeah, maybe he had a bigger role in the movie initially, and then they cut him out or something.
I don't know. It doesn't matter. That's the thing, is that this movie just feels like a bunch of cost-cutting decisions. Mm-hmm. It really does come across that way of just we could have had more cars in this scene, the car chase scene, but that would cost money, so we didn't. Or we could have all the various grids in the movie are supposed to be these giant cities full of programs. Now, the original Tron made it feel like there was a whole world of programs inside the grid. Tron Legacy, they have nightclubs, for God's sake. They have entire lives and jobs, and Daft Punk is there doing DJ sets every night in this nightclub for whatever reason.
Wouldn't that be awesome?
This grid,
I would live in a grid if Daft Punk was doing a DJ set every night.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
So this grid has exactly 6 people on it.
Yep.
All of them in the same, empty office space.
Yeah.
In a tower in Grid City, and then even when they have to do a chase scene, there aren't any more people to be part of the chase scene, so they have to get drones, robotic drones. So we're doing spoilers. We can say that probably the highlight of the film is that at one point Jared Leto's character Ares has to go into the grid from the 1980s.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
The original Tron world, which they do a pretty good job of not making look terrible.
Yeah.
But while being somewhat faithful to the way everything looked in the first movie.
Yeah.
So you get to see an old-fashioned light cycle. You get to see Bit from the first movie, who was one of my favorite characters from that movie.
And they do, whether it's CGI or, makeup or whatever, to kind of make his face look like the ones in the faces of the people in the first movie too.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
Jeff Bridges gets paid again.
Yeah, Jeff Bridges gets to be in the movie for 45
but
seconds.
Not redonkulously and very distractingly digitally de-aged,
right.
Which I very much appreciate.
Yeah, he's allowed to be old.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, and that scene is actually a lot of nostalgic fun.
Yeah.
But it could have been so much more. That grid has been shut down for years, and so it's completely empty. It's just vacant. There's minimal stuff in that grid, and one light cycle, one bit, and then Jeff Bridges, and a couple glowy beams.
Yep.
Because Hollywood does love its glowy beams.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it. And it was just like, really? You're going to spend all the money to recreate the original movie and then put nothing in it?
Yeah.
And you're going to make this whole new red grid in the future and nothing in it? It's also, it was interesting because the movie is clearly like, it's all about these tech gurus who you're supposed to feel real sympathy for, which was fascinating.
Mm-hmm.
They definitely missed the mark on that one. But these tech gurus and these families and the video game companies, none of which seem to have innovated anything. Like, they are just reiterating Jeff Bridges' original grid program over and over. Even Ares, even this permanence code are things that Flynn wrote back in the day, and which now they've sort of improved on a little bit, but they haven't innovated at all, including Eve Kim, our main character, who is presented as like this amazing scientist. All she does is follow her dead sister's trail to a Quonset hut where there are a bunch of floppy disks left over from Flynn's work.
Yep.
And she just goes through all these disks until she finds the permanence code. The permanence code is the MacGuffin of the movie. It's what's going to let Jared Leto become a real boy.
Yep.
And it is fascinating because the trailers for this movie made it seem like a horror movie, and it made it seem like Jared Leto was the monster who was going to lead an army of programs into the real world and kill everybody. That's not the case at all. Nope, he's the good guy, almost right from the beginning.
Yep.
He's literally like, I'm being made to do horrible things. I don't want to do that anymore. So I'm going to find the permanence code, and then I don't have to obey my master anymore.
Yep.
Evan Peters is his master. And he's immediately supposed to be sympathetic, and you're immediately supposed to like him and care about him and hope that he actually succeeds in this goal. And he does, and yay, aren't we all so glad?
Yep.
Why a computer program was designed to have long, stringy, greasy hair? No idea.
Well, it's stringy and wet. And when he becomes a real boy, I started giggling because his hair is so clean and fluffy and huge and big. And it's like, no, robots don't have long, wet hair, right? Like, robots have like very short, cropped, almost like Lego helmet hair, right? Yeah. Like, and then you could make it like
Athena.
Right. Well, but sure. But, then you could make that like lighter and fluffier when he becomes a real boy. But, it just was distractingly wet and stringy.
Yeah. What else is there to say about this movie? I don't know. The thing is, it was better than we expected it to be.
Yeah.
I often find if I walk into a movie thinking it's going to be a stinker, it's okay. And this was okay. It's just okay, though. It's not as good as Tron Legacy, despite the incoherence and weirdness of Tron Legacy. Also, if you were thinking that the cliffhanger ending of Tron Legacy was going to come back, it does, just for them to say, just don't get too excited. We will resolve that cliffhanger, but not in this movie.
Right.
We'll do it in Tron 4.
Yeah, which
probably won't ever get
made. Not going to happen, and should not.
Yeah. Yeah. And like, I feel like the original Tron, the plot was just a bunch of like jibber jabber, techno babble from the 80s that nobody even uses anymore, except Tron movies still say things like end of the line and master control program.
Mm-hmm.
The Tron Legacy was like trying to make it more about like the characters. I kind of failed in that, I guess. It was still a very good looking movie. This one looks cheap, and there's not even a lot of good technobabble in it. There were a couple weird lines, but that's about it. Yeah, and this whole idea that we really care about these tech executives passing on the legacy of Flynn.
And that in the end, it's like the good girl tech guru has created this AI company that's gonna like feed the world,
feed the hungry,
and like
cure the sick,
and everything. And it's just like,
whereas Evan Peters' AI company wanted to build
military
defense contract stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, sure. Yeah, because it's like these companies, as if any of these companies are ever going to be able to do that. Like, it's just, they're bound by their shareholders. That's all they do. So they're all going to build defense stuff and surveillance stuff and stuff to addict children to social media. So in the year of our Lord 2025, it's kind of hard to feel a lot of sympathy for tech gurus in films, at least.
Yeah.
And I just...
Yeah, I mean, I would say that is, one of many problems with this movie. It is not the foremost problem with this movie, but it's a very real plotting problem, she's a nice girl and all, but, I do know that in the real world she actually doesn't particularly care if I live or die.
I don't think she recognizes you as human.
Yeah.
So, or me either. It's. I think that when you're that rich, you stop thinking in terms of human beings.
Yeah.
Well, this is getting off topic. We were talking about Tron Ares.
Mm-hmm. But Tron Ares is talking about AI in the real world.
It is.
And that's our take on AI in the real world.
And has nothing useful to say about it.
Yeah. Yeah. That's it certainly doesn't have anything that I feel like speaks to the current zeitgeist about AI.
This is like, the plot of this movie, this is a plot that I have always enjoyed. This is the Frankenstein plot, right?
Yes. It even quotes Frankenstein.
Yes, and I liked that because it doesn't go heavy-handed with it. It is one little quote, and then we never go back to that, and you're allowed to draw your own parallels. And it's this idea of the thing that didn't ask to be created, and what is the responsibility of the creator to the created. And that is a question that Mary Shelley asked in 1813, whatever, and still hasn't been answered.
I mean, it's a question that, of course, every mother has asked since the beginning of consciousness. But,
And I like those kind of stories, but I got to say, Westworld did it 1,000,000 times better.
Yep.
The first season of Westworld.
Yeah. What else did this remind me of?
Ex Machina.
Yeah. I wish I could remember. During the movie, there was something that I was like, oh, I've seen this already. And I liked it better when it was... Oh, no, that's a commercial. We saw a commercial for another movie that I was like, oh, I liked that one better when it was Minority Report. That wasn't the actual movie.
Blade Runner and Blade Runner 2049 both asked this question.
Yes.
And had more to say about it.
Did more interesting things with it.
And probably looked better than this movie.
And were more visually interesting.
Including the original Blade Runner.
Yeah.
So, from 1981, 102, whatever it was.
Yeah, but the original Blade Runner has the advantage of being able to create its own visual style, right? So, it's almost not fair to compare a sequel to an original in terms of setting a visual style. But I feel like Tron Legacy did a really good job of like updating the visual style, to its moment when that movie was made, and creating like a new space for that visual style to go. Mm-hmm. And this movie didn't do that, right? This movie was just trying to follow the visual style and just make it a different color, right? Like the red being the predominant color throughout most of the movie instead of blue. But other than that, it didn't really do anything else particularly interesting. Yeah. And I would think even that bringing it to the real world, while it doesn't have the same visual pizzazz of like the machines against the stark backdrops and the lines of the grid world, I just, if we're going to bring all this shit to the real world, and this is like Pacific Rim, we're going to wreak devastation on this city, or whichever one of the Superman movies it was where they like wreck.
Yeah, that was Man of Steel.
Man of Steel, like that, you would just get this sense of endless destruction, and that you could make visually interesting in some way. But like there wasn't the endless destruction. They didn't make that visually interesting, and the grid world was derivatively visually interesting. Like there was nothing new.
I would say that rather than trying to echo Man of Steel or something like that, I think this was trying to echo Terminator.
Yes, and where I wanted it to echo Terminator was echo Terminator 2, where these machines could like the machines would die after 29 minutes. But what might have been interesting is if they could be metamorphic.
Yeah.
And so that they could like disguise themselves as people or like, maneuver in some way. And instead they're extraordinarily limited in the real world, as well as being incredibly destructive, but not destructive.
I was thinking it was more like Terminator 1.
Yes.
And the whole point of Terminator 1 is that it's going to keep coming for you.
Yeah.
You can't stop it.
Yeah.
And that was very much the thing that should have been the big pain point here. And unfortunately, it just doesn't really pay off.
Yeah.
Is this idea that, you can, if you escape this thing for 29 minutes, it dies.
Yeah.
Great, except then they just make another one.
Right.
And it comes for you, and you have to get another 29 minutes,
Right, but even still, like, that's time, and then there's a break, and then there's another 29 minutes, and that doesn't make any rational sense, right? Like, there doesn't seem to be a limit of the materials to make these things. So if I want you to go get Eve Kim in the real world, like, why can't you replicate them? Why can't there be an Athena created every minute that has the same mission?
That's a really interesting question.
So then in 29 minutes, there'd be 29 Athenas.
Right. You think you're going to survive. You survive the 29 minutes and Athena dies and you're like, all right, oh, phew.
Yeah.
And then the next one like walks in the door.
Right.
Yeah, that's more Matrix. That's pretty scary.
Yeah, that's what I was saying earlier, right?
Again,
like there's no rationale given in the movie for why that wouldn't be possible. And that would actually make it like interesting because it would be that relentlessness, right? Like there is no way to escape it. You have to subvert it. But it's like in the end, they both subvert it and escape it. It's like they escape it when it's convenient and then subvert it to end the whole problem. Yeah. But,
So.
And it's not Eve Kim that does the subversion. It's 3 characters that we haven't mentioned who are sitting typing, and then they figure out how to subvert it digitally.
And their whole job in the movie is
to
compete over which of them is the more elite hacker.
Yes.
Okay, so not that's more, that makes it sound more interesting than it is.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So yes, Tron Ares, it's not terrible.
Yep.
By any means.
Yep.
But it's just very lightweight and cheap.
Yep.
And it just doesn't really do it for me.
Yep.
Okay. Well, there you go. The thing you really wanted to know about Tron Ares.
If you're watching these, you probably want to know something about it.
I think they just want to see us being cute.
We try.
Look how cute she is.
Yeah.
She's like adorable. Mwah. Hidden Easter egg if you got this far in our Tron Ares review. They kiss. They finally kiss. Okay, until
Will
next time.
Will they or won't they? We did.
So, until next time, this has been
us
kissing.
Yeah.
Mwah, mwah.